Welcome back to Brick by Brick. Today we're going to be doing a Senate prediction. In this case, it is going to be the 2026 Senate elections. So these are coming up in about a year and a half. We've still got quite a while before then, so things might change. This is just going to be, if the election were to be held today, what I think the results would be. So I've already characterized all the safe and likely states. We've got the safe states for the Democrats. I do think that New Mexico and Colorado might be in the likely column, but regardless, there are going to be 2 more seats for the Democrats. Republicans have a good number of likely seats. They've got the seat in Nebraska, Iowa, Ohio, and Texas, and in pretty much every scenario, Republicans will be winning these seats unless something crazy happens, but most likely those are going to be 4 seats for the Republicans. Right off the bat, Republicans are really at an early advantage with this. They have 51 safe and likely seats compared to Democrats' 43. So Democrats, even if they were to win every single seat, would still have lost the Senate majority, at least for the 2 years after this, until 2028 at the earliest. But we'll start to characterize some of these states. So I do think there will be a little bit more good news for Democrats when it comes down to the lean and tilt states. So I think Democrats will probably fairly easily be able to win the states of New Hampshire and Minnesota. Those are going to be not electoral college votes. Those are going to be Senate seats there, 2 more for the Democrats. Then with that gives us 45 to 51 for the Republicans, 45 for the Democrats. And then these are going to be kind of the more competitive states. I do think that Collins will probably be able to win again. I do think if it were a different Republican, that it probably wouldn't go well for them. But I do think if it was Susan Collins, and she is running for re-election again, so I do think that if the election were to be held today, she has a good, it's close, it's going to be a tilt rating, that's what I'm predicting, so I think it will be close, definitely possible she loses, but if I had to call it, that's probably the way of which I would designate it. And then, as far as we still have 3 states left, Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia, and I do think that, weirdly enough, I do think that North Carolina has got a good shot. I believe his name is Roy Cooper, previous governor in the state of North Carolina, pretty popular. North Carolina has occasionally elected some Democratic governors on the state level there, and Roy Cooper is one of them. He was a top pick for Democrats when it came to these potential nominees in the Senate race here in North Carolina. He's a great pick and has got a good chance of winning the election. And then we have 2 states left, and I do think in Michigan I think is going to be close. In the long run, I do think Michigan is going to be trending towards the Republicans along with the rest of the Rust Belt, whereas the Sun Belt I think in the long run will be progressively becoming more and more friendly towards Democratic candidates, and so I'm going to give that characterization as so. So with that is going to be, this also, I should point out, is going to be the midterm year for Trump. And generally, the opposing party does fairly well when the party that isn't in the executive office. And for Democrats, they're not in the executive or the legislative, really, in the majority. So I do think that this will probably be a good year for Democrats all in all, which is why more of the swing states have gone towards the Democrats. Not all of them, but some of them. And feel free to let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.